adventures.
All right, guys, well, here it is, the Staccato HD C3.6 2011. Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why I've been waiting my whole life for this. As you can see, 15 round mag, nothing in the chamber. The gun is safe. Wow, we'll talk about the trigger, but the reason I have been waiting my whole life for this is because it is a compact pistol that takes Glock 19 magazines. Now, I was a little confused because it comes with steel magazines, but they're Glock pattern, and you can use a standard 15 round Glock 19 mag in it, as we shall do here shortly. But the reason I've been waiting my whole life is I started off a Glock fanboy. I'm still very much a fan of the Glock 19. I think it's one of the best EDC pistols all around. I still carry a variation of one. It's a clone. But when I had the Platypus from Stealth Arms, it is a double stack 1911. I guess they cannot call it a 2011 because it doesn't have the polymer frame grip module, two pieces. But very similar. It took Glock 17 mags, the original HD that came out before this. Staccato took Glock 17 mags, 17 round magazines, and I wanted a compact version of it so bad that I even asked a gunsmith if he would be able to do a chop job on that Platypus so it could fit Glock 19 magazines, 15 round magazines. He said he could not. He said it would be so difficult and time consuming because in these 1911 style pistols, that mainspring goes all the way down. And in order to do a chop job, he would have had to cut right where that assembly went and the spring and find a whole new spring. It would have been a nightmare. It probably could have been done with a lot of trial and error, but that would have been very expensive. But fast forward 2025, coming to the end of the year here, and Staccato did it. They came out with a compact 2011 that takes Glock mags. Now, I will say, after having that CS, this is a little fatter. It's got a fatter slide. That CS fit in the hand a little better, but this is more compact. The grip is definitely about a centimeter shorter, and I just like Glock mags. So, well, let's compare it size-wise to a Glock 19 clone. I hate to say it, but I'm into the clones now because when I get a Glock, I have to change out the sights. I typically change out the trigger. I don't like the grip angle. This is the Zev OZ9C Glock 19 clone, and as you can see, it is the exact size of this Staccato. The only difference is the beaver tail goes out a little more on the Staccatos, but it's very close. It's too bad they don't fit the holsters, but of course this is a whole different profile. This pistol is clear too, so you can see we got a Gen 5 magazine in there. And the other, just a small complaint, the Stealth Arms Platypus, when I put Glock mags in there, they just fit in, just felt normal. Now this slides in smooth. This is the, I think it's Mechgar, but this is the magazine that came with it, whereas the Glock magazine, little stiff. Well, when loaded, it feels a lot different than this one, I'll tell you that. That felt great, but when loading these, you really have to give a lot more pressure on the Glock mag. Unloaded, it doesn't, interesting, but you can see some slight differences. Even though they're Glock pattern mags, there are some slight differences in here. Look at that point, round. Subtle differences in the shape, but otherwise this will fit. And I wonder about, you know, if they have metal that's going to eat away this polymer. But even with the whole shield arms of the 43X, that would take so long for it to eat away the polymer. I'm not really worried about that, but it is something to consider. So here we go. And I just have so many Glock mags. This will take the Glock 17 mags, of course, and it takes a Glock 19 mag. For me, I mean, that is just a dream come true. Now, I do have small hands. For some people, this may feel too compact, like a subcompact or a micro 9. For me, it is perfect. I mean, I could use this as a duty weapon, and of course, this is where it shines, a concealed carry. Now, I do like how they put the front sight in front there. Some of you might have remembered that one Glock I had. It was Glock 23, but it was aftermarket cut, and that was there. So this is the standard package. So I went cheap. The standard package was $2,300. Then they have the preferred package, and then like a premium package. The preferred is like $2,500, and then the premium goes over to like $2,699. So I don't know. I didn't really like how they did that. So in the standard package, the only thing I don't have is they only gave me 2 mags. The other packages you get 3. I didn't get a DLC coated barrel. I got a stainless steel barrel. Not a big deal, but I didn't get a night sight. So this is their Ameriglow blacked out front sight. Suppressor height, well, almost. But I didn't get a night sight like you do with the preferred and the top package. So a little disappointed with that. And then the top package, they give you even some extra serrations. So I don't know if that's even necessary. These serrations are great, but this is a 2011. So we got aluminum alloy frame here, stainless steel barrel, ambi controls, which I do not like. It makes it a little thicker. I'm for controls that you can switch either to left or right. So ambi safety. Notice there is no grip safety, which I like. If I carried appendix, I would want a grip safety, but I don't. I carry it, 3 o'clock. So I like this. It's nice. It's got the active firing pin block, an external extractor there, just a beautiful 2011. It's got their host optic system, which I do not like, even though that's thin. I had to order a plate for $85. It was $86 shipping, and you had to get the correct plate, and I don't like that. I mean, at least Zev, what they did, they had a system where you just screw down your optic much lower. So, I mean, this is better than a Glock MOS system, but I still don't like having to use an optic plate. It's still fairly low, but they could have got it lower with a more of a direct mount. Now, this is their curved aluminum trigger. At first, I didn't like it because it felt just a little mushy. Oh, boy, it's a good trigger. Man. I can't really complain. It's not the greatest of 2011, 1911 trigger, but even the worst 2011 trigger is better than like the ultimate flat-faced aftermarket Glock clone trigger, but 20 times better. I mean, just amazing. So let's test it out. Let's see what we get on the wheeler. I'm gonna do this. I don't think that's right. It does not feel that light. Feels more like 3 now. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, that's closer. Let's try another one. There we go. So around 3.5 pounds. I thought it was even stiffer than that, but just a nice trigger for carry. Very nice. So I will have the full range trip video. I'm going to compare it to some other things like this pistol, that it's exact size. Of course, this has the comp. You can get these modified to, boy, that would be nice. Get this comp. Maybe someday I'll do that. But this is my dream, guys. I've always wanted a Glock 19 size pistol that is a 2011, that takes Glock mags, better grip angle than a Glock. This has more of a 1911 grip angle, a better trigger, and it's just like cheating. When you shoot this, you're just so accurate. I really can understand why so many law enforcement agencies are paying big bucks to get contracts with Staccato or letting their officers use Staccato. This, as far as I'm concerned, is the best concealed carry pistol on the market that's not like a super exclusive custom. So just something that you can buy in stores. I don't think it gets better than this. Of course, for micro nines, you know, I carry something smaller in the summer just for t-shirts. You could get away with it with this. This is, and I will show the holster I'm using for this here in a couple weeks when the range video's out. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Let me know what you think of the Staccato. I just don't think it gets better than this. Pricey, but well worth it if you can afford it. Get one. And they did have some problems with, you know, the larger HD, but they fixed that. It was problems with that block they had up front. This does not have that. I don't anticipate any problems with this, so we shall see. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys.
My name is Chuke. I like to trade my guns just for fun, but now I have none. Oh, look, get shot by a bear, but I don't care. I got a 10mm. Chuke's Outdoor Adventures. Watch you all die every time, guaranteed.